Having met with an accident, our protagonist is seriously injured. Being hit by a truck, he is in critical condition. While waiting on the ambulance in the rain, we can hear a woman crying in pain. It seems our protagonist was trying to save two high school students, but they are now missing, and the police are looking for them. Our protagonist wonders if the kids make it out alright. As he is being taken to the hospital, comments are passed to be careful since he is heavy. We get an idea of the life the protagonist had when he says he lived as a hermit for 20 years and had to bang on the wall if he needed food. As the rain keeps falling, we keep hearing people speaking loudly. When he reaches the hospital, the doctors try to have him remain awake. The voices that we keep hearing start getting more frequent now. He finally starts to hear them. The doctors start to lose him as his vitals start to drop. He starts to realize that he is dying. He didn't care because his life wasn't worth living anyways, but at least he wished he'd lost his virginity. The voices are clearer now, and he realizes it's in another language. He wonders if he is still alive. He sees an unknown man, and the man is happy to see him and gives him a kiss. When he sees the woman, he is excited. He gets a good view, starts to look around, and he realizes that this isn't the hospital. The man keeps making goofy faces at him, which makes him grumpy, but he is happy that he is in front of a gorgeous woman. Having a rack like that in front of him, he couldn't stop himself. He had to have a feel. When he reaches his hands out, he finds out that his hands are kind of tiny. He finally realizes that he is a baby. Digesting these facts, he comes to a conclusion that he is reincarnated, and these are his parents, Paul and Zenith, who are in their mid-20s. The protagonist thinks since he is 34, they are kids to him. He is jealous that they get to make babies at that age, but he is happy he gets to breastfeed for free. We can tell the protagonist is a big perv. He gets named Rudius and he turns out to be a naughty kid. He is now 6 months old and he has gotten a good grasp on the language here. Even though he is reincarnated in a new life, he still acts creepy. He likes women who are well endowed. He eyes his maid Lilia and creeps her out. She tries to tell his mom that he behaves funny but stops halfway and apologizes. His mom says that he's just a baby and wouldn't know any better, but Lilia still has her doubts. One day while looking outside, he sees that he is in a vast countryside area and thinks that he must be somewhere in Europe. He is happy to be reborn but wished he could at least have access to a computer. He sees his father practicing his swordplay and is surprised. He loses his balance and falls and hits his head on the ground. His mother and Lilia comes running to see if he is hurt. His mother consoles him, but Lilia states that even with a fall like that, he still didn't cry. His mother expresses that that's her strong boy. But just in case, she will cast a spell to make the pain go away. She puts Rudius on the table and puts her hand on his head and starts to chant. Rudius thought that this was this country's version of kissing a boo-boo. But what happens next surprises him. Witnessing that magic is a reality in this world, Rudius changes his view about it. We find out that the mother was an adventurer before she was married. Rudius finally realizes that he is in another world, a world of swords and sorcery. Now that Rudius is 2 years old, he can finally walk and wonders if his mummy will teach him magic. He couldn't wait to try it out himself. Exploring the house, he comes across a chest. After struggling to open it, he finds it has 5 books in it. He did not know how to read, but he said he would have to learn. A year has passed since then, and his father has been reading him these books. Now he can more or less read on his own. His favorite book from the five was the Magic Manual. He finds out that some of the concepts are similar to some of the stuff from his old life. Mana is fixed at birth, and he doesn't trust his genes are going to do much. But he doesn't give up hope. He won't know what he can do until he gives it a shot. He starts to read the incantation from the book and creates a water ball. He wanted to send it flying, so he tries it again. He starts to picture water bubbles coming together, and before he even says the incantation, the water ball appears, but it weakens him and he falls down. Being stubborn, he doesn't give up and keeps trying every day. As the seasons pass, he keeps getting better at it. He finds out that the book is full of hogwash and the magic power grows the more you use it, and the spells work without incantations. As he keeps practicing, he wonders what more there could be to magic. When he finally believes that he is better at it, he tries to make the water ball fly, and he succeeds. And he starts trying to increase his firing speed and size. Feeling confident that his magic power is increased, he tries intermediate magic. He takes the book, points his hand out the window, and starts to chant the magic spell. Not knowing the extent of his power, he creates a large water ball, which destroys the whole wall and sends the water ball past the fields. His parents thought maybe it was a monster attack and were worried about him. His mother figures out he read the magic book and that's what caused it. She is happy that her son is capable of such magic and tells her husband to arrange a tutor for him. They found Rudy a tutor and were expecting an old retired adventurer, but they ended up getting a shy young petite girl. Her name is Roxy Migordia. She looks for her student and wasn't expecting it to be such a young child. She looks so disappointed and starts grumbling to herself, but she decides to at least see what he's got. She starts to explain to him that there are generally 3 types of magic: attack, heal, and summoning, and that there are 7 ranks starting from beginner all the way to divine. Rudy inquires if the incantation is necessary. Roxy tells him of course it is, confirming that Rudy was in fact special since he can do it without the incantation. Now it was Rudy's turn to try out the same spell. Since he knew that incantations was necessary, he wanted to hide the fact that he could do the spell without it. When Rudy starts to cast his spell, a gust of wind blows up Roxy's skirt. Getting distracted, Rudy doesn't complete the entire incantation and fires the spell. Roxy notices this and questions him about it. He tells her that normally he just skips the incantation. She can't believe what she is hearing, but thinks out loud that he might be worth training. Our episode ends with a welcome feast for Roxy. Rudy thinks how grateful he is for this new life and how happy he is, and believes that in this world he can finally make it. His past life was full of regret and painful memories, and that maybe even a jobless hermit like him won't waste the second chance at life to get serious about living.